Erich Bissell left Austria in 1938, fleeing from the Nazis. He came to Canada, where he successfully established a new life. However, he had to leave behind members of his family who perished in the concentration camps. To remember the 65,000 Austrian Jewish children, women, and men who were murdered during the Holocaust, a wall featuring their names will be unveiled in Vienna's city center. The Austro-Canadian Kurt Jakob Tutter elaborated the concept of this Shoah Wall of Names memorial. I'm Silvia Meyer-Kaibitsch, the Austrian ambassador to Canada, and when I met Mr. Tutter, I was deeply impressed by his passion and never-ending commitment to this project. There are also young Austrians who actively contribute to keeping the memory alive. Some of them participate in the so-called Gedenkdienst. This program supports the active cooperation of young Austrians all over the world in Jewish memorial, research, and social institutions such as the Holocaust Education and Genocide Prevention Foundation in Montreal. Today, Austria continues its work on reconciliation. Like Kurt Tutter and Erich Bissell, many Austrians acquired the citizenship of their new home countries. A recent amendment to the Austrian Citizenship Act created the possibility for descendants of victims of the Nazi regime to acquire Austrian citizenship in addition to their Canadian or whichever citizenship they have. Since September 1st of last year, more than 6,600 citizenship procedures have been positively concluded by the Austrian authorities, including that of Erich Bissell's son Mark. Let us remember that each name on the wall was once a distinctive and unique individual. Let us remember that every single life matters.
I remember to this day, 83 years later, standing in Stephansplatz, the troops marching in on the main street with thousands and thousands of flags and Hitler in his open car. And I thought we were attending a party. I said to my parents, wow, this is a great parade, it's wonderful. And I remember my parents saying to me, no, Eric, this is really very bad. This is bad news for us. No reason to celebrate. To my parents making the decision to leave, I must say, my father was a furrier who was born in 1908. When we left, he was 30 years old. He had spent a number of years as an apprentice, as a master furrier, and finally opening the fur store. So he was finally, after all this hardship, he was going to do well. We owe a thank you to one of my father's fur store clients who came in one day and said, you know, you sold me a coat last year. I'm not happy with it. My husband is a member of the Nazi Party, and you're going to have to change my coat for me. My father said, of course I will. And at the end of the day, he locked up his store, he came home and said to my mother and I, I'm never going back into that fur store. I can no longer live here. I have to get out. Shortly after that, my father left on fake papers because the borders were closed. He went to Yugoslavia first. He sent us documents so that we could leave. Fortunately, we got out. We had a journey that took us a couple of years, Yugoslavia, Italy, and finally France. When we were in France, my father joined the French Foreign Legion as a volunteer, which made him a French soldier, which gave us protection. When France lost the war, my father was discharged from the Foreign Legion. So my father went to Marseille, and we were in occupied France. So my father arranged for us to be smuggled from occupied France to free France. We went through a wood, and next thing we know, there was a troop of German soldiers. They come to us, and the captain of this troop is from Vienna. He's Viennese. Comes over to talk to us, and he said to me, you know, I'm a little boy like you in Vienna, and I'm sorry to be here. He says, but what could he do? He made a decision with his troop to take us to the train station so that we could go to Marseille, unhindered, unoccupied. We had our own compartment. He ordered that compartment be sealed until we were in free France. We owe him our lives. In Marseille, we left on the last ship to the Dominican Republic. Fortunately for us, my aunt was in the Dominican Republic, and she arranged for us to have a visa. We were in the Dominican Republic from 1942 to 1948. We had family in Montreal, and fortunately, they arranged for us to be able to come to Montreal. And of course, Canada has been wonderful to us. I still think of Vienna as my hometown. I think of Austria as my home in many ways. Wien ist die Stadt meiner Träume. It is the city of my dreams. Here we are, a lifetime. Vienna never forgotten, Vienna always there, Austria never forgotten, always there. With gratitude, how they've come the full circle, not just for me, but for Jewry in general. On a visit to Vienna with my son Mark in 2001, in the center of the city, near Stephansplatz, there was a computer where you could find the names of the Jews that perished in the Holocaust. And both Mark and I discovered both my grandmothers had perished in Theresienstadt. I think it was in 1943. And of course, they are going to be listed in the memorial. Much to the credit of Austria to have done such a mammoth project. It is more than stones and names. It's the recognition of the past. And it's coming to grips in a real way with the past and making amends as no other country has. So thank you, Austria.
This memorial is almost I wouldn't say a final step in the evolution of memorials, but it certainly represents the actual interactive type of memorial. Each person who looks at this memorial recognizes it wasn't 6 million, it was one by one by one. To have young Gedenkdieners who are interns in lieu of military service tour young people and whoever visits through this. This, to me, would be actually the epitome of memorialization, because the Gedenkdienst service, which is called, in English, remembrance service, is a way of Austria remembering. It's a living memorial. So these young people, bringing people through the physical memorial of 65,000 names, I think that's what I would like to see.
My father's childhood experience, being born in Vienna, his escape from Vienna, living in France, living in the Dominican Republic, only coming to Montreal when he was 15, going to high school at night, going to university at night, hard worker, but also enjoying life, notwithstanding his experience and the fact that many members of my family were murdered during the Holocaust. I mean, this was a big part of my identity. Choosing me as Honorary Consul General, it wasn't an automatic yes. Austria, yes, my father was born there, but he also escaped there. So to then represent Austria, and I really had to digest, and then I really saw it as an opportunity. It was a recognition of who I was, and obviously a conscious decision by the ambassador to say, we would like you to represent our country in Quebec. And to me, it was a tremendous honor and a tremendous responsibility. Austria has taken many steps forward in recent years. The Shoah Wall of Names is a massive step forward. I feel there's a recognition for both my great-grandmothers, whose names will be on it, that they are not forgotten. And through this process, we have remembered them. And that's very special to me and my family.